welcome to Nobody Asked Us with Des and Kara, presented by Brooks Running. Hello! What's up, Des?
How's it going? Kara, what are you wearing? I hate to ask that question.
I don't know. What are you wearing?
Did this just happen? Are we on a team now?
Team pasta.
I debated not even bringing this up and just like casually wearing them the entire show and just seeing if anyone would notice. Go to the YouTube, check out our amazing.
Wait, more importantly,
sweatshirts.
Dun, 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 dun,
over the headphones.
Dun, 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 dun.
The closest to a gold medal
that we're ever gonna get.
That's good.
Shout out to Barilla Pasta for hooking us up with seriously cool swag. We are both excited about our swag, and we both like carbs.
What does your medal say? This is honestly some of the best packaging. The box it came in, it was really cool. What does your medal say?
Mine says Marathon Champ, Supermom, Ace Author.
Oh, I love it.
What does yours say?
Marathon Champ, Podcast Pro, and a Dog Mom.
Oh,
shout out Barilla.
I mean, to be fair, Des is the only one of either of us that's a Marathon Champ.
I feel like
I never won a marathon, but
you know what's crazy though? Like, if you only run the world's best marathons, it's actually incredibly hard to be a marathon champ, you know?
I know, but you are.
Well, yeah, it's great. And I'm really very proud of that. But I don't think that means anything less for other people who are just racing the best marathons in the world.
Okay, thanks. But this is the cutest package. We both got little gift packages, and they had protein pasta in them. And the packaging is sensational.
And this isn't even sponsored. This is just we're both fans of pasta, and they're like, yeah, let's hook you up. And it was so cool. We're like, let's talk about it on the show. Yeah. Actually, it was so cool. We both randomly wore these sweatshirts on the same day. Like, well, shit, now we have to talk about it. This is weird. Also, if you angle just right, it says Team Past.
Which we also find funny. I don't know why. We're really pathetic. Okay, well, we have a fun-packed episode today of dread. We are dreading it actually a little bit. So we're gonna catch up in just a sec. But just to look ahead, we're gonna do a little Olympic previewing, and then we're gonna do a friendship episode, which we're both cringing about just a tad because the questions are really, really, really deep.
We've been on like a very track nerd train.
Yeah.
Going full steam ahead, talking about qualifying standards, terrible processes, great things in the track world. It's a lot of track. So I think this gives us a breather, a chance for the audience to, if you're new here, you get to know us a little better. And why not make us incredibly uncomfortable?
I was like, if Des stays the whole time today, she's going to get up and walk away.
Sweating through this Team Pasta. I'm cooking my noodles right now.
Okay, wait. Before we get to all of that, you have a birthday this week. Yeah. Or when this episode comes out.
Yeah.
So what is your perfect birthday day? Like, what do you like to do on your birthday?
Is that one of the questions?
No, that's a Kara question. Isn't that a good one?
That is a good one. That could be in this. I'm not even going to read the name of the list yet, but what's a perfect birthday? I usually forget that it's coming up until like a day or two before. But it's kind of same old. Ryan loves to do a whole shebang. Like if I were in charge of Ryan's birthday and doing it correctly, I would do what Ryan does for me. Like, he gets everyone together. We'll go have, like, he'll be like, let's go to dinner. And I'll be like, okay. And, like, I know he's invited everyone to go there. And it's this big surprise thing, which is always really fun. It's great to see everyone. So I know something of that nature will happen. But perfect birthday would just be, like, you know, same old.
Just a day in the life.
Yeah, totally. I don't know. I'm not a holiday person, and I know that's hard to believe because we just had a long talk about Ashura, which is today, and that's a holiday. And I'll use a holiday for not as an excuse for not doing anything, but in general, like Thanksgiving really bothers me because it shouldn't be so specific. Like, you should appreciate every day.
Right. Yeah, that's fair.
And I don't know. I mean, I guess birthdays are cool. Like you feel kind of special, but it's so not my jam.
Right. I can totally see that about you. Yeah, I like for my birthday, all I wanted to do was go down to Lake Superior and and watch the kids play. Like that's what I wanted to do because I love Lake Superior. And I determined a few years back, you know what? It's too cold for me. It always has been. And I faked it, but it's
Yeah.
too cold for me. I'm not getting in it.
What's the
Smaller
temp of
lakes,
the
yes.
lake? What's
I
the
don't
temp of the
know.
lake
It's
now?
freezing. It's so cold. I don't know. I just
50s?
Yeah, probably. Probably high 50s, but that's just it's way too cold for me. Our lake out here
Yeah.
is probably high 60s and I enjoy it, but even as a kid, I hated it. And I would pretend like it was
Mhm.
cool. Like we'd run
Yay,
down
this
there.
is
Our high school
fun.
team would run down there and jump in. And I'd be like, yeah. And the whole rundown, I'd be like, how am I going to get out of this? How am I going to get out of this? So anyway, finally, a few years back, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not getting in there anymore. I love it. I love the sound of it. I love the way it smells down by the lake. I love Lake Superior. I love everything around it, but I'm not getting in anymore.
Good for you. Having
Yeah.
boundaries. I'll watch it. Yeah, and
Yeah.
the kids are like oblivious. They're like, I'm just having fun.
Yeah, they're like, we're going in. Yeah, their teeth are like blue or their lips are blue. They don't even feel it. They're like, whatever. Yeah. All
That's
right.
great.
Well, so I hope that
You
on your
wait,
go
can you
ahead.
tell us about your floaty? Because you did get like
That's
this
what I got for my
really
birthday from
cool
Adam.
wrap. Yeah. 2 cup holders. Chris was like, not one, but 2.
Okay. So one of my favorite things is to be on the water, but not to necessarily be in the water. Like I will get in the water and jump in with the kids because I like to be fun, but I just really like being on the water. So I paddleboard a lot. And anyway, Adam got me the coolest raft. It is huge. And he like tied a rope to it and pushed me out. And it has 2
Nice.
cup holders. And it even has like a screen that's SPF 50.
Love it.
And it has a pillow. So like a blown up pillow. So I can lie there and my head's on the pillow. So my husband knows me well. It was like the perfect gift for me. I've been on it
That's
most
great.
days since my birthday.
Yeah, it looked like a good setup. I was impressed. I was like, okay, she's doing that right.
Okay, what's a dream gift for you?
I was just thinking about that, and what I've had my eye on for a while is like one of those fishing canoes, like where you can
Oh,
like kind of pedal, but then there's like a motor, but then you could also paddle and you can fish off of them because they're super stable.
yeah.
Because I want to go fishing without Ryan, but like with the whole boat situation, like it's a lot to maneuver and move, and it's heavy, and it's so I'm like dependent on him. So
Right.
I actually think that the fishing kayak, I would still be like, can you put it in the water for me?
Yeah, but then you could go out on your own
But I
after
could be
that.
like, see you later. Yeah.
Okay, do I need to text Ryan or do you think you can tell him that you want this for your birthday?
I could probably handle it. That is like a big sister comment. I was like,
do I need to tell him
Yeah.
or like are you actually going to tell him
Yeah.
that this is what you want?
Yeah. No, he knows.
You don't need a new boat,
Yeah.
big time boat.
Right.
You just want a little boat.
I want a little boat for
Yeah.
myself. He's like, no, I thought we could do this together. Like, no, I want this for
I
myself.
want this to do it alone.
Yeah.
Love you.
The thing is, like, I just buy my shit myself, which
Yeah.
I did. I got to confess, I broke down on the New Year's resolution. I bought a piece recently.
What was it? Team
It was
pasta?
like,
Just kidding.
I would buy this. This is cool. No, it's actually sitting right here. I'm gonna grab it. I wore
Okay,
it to
get it.
the live pod.
Oh,
I had it there.
your jacket thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right
it's
here.
so cool. It is. That's
It's-
worth breaking down for.
This is a statement piece, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell a story. This is like going on a tangent, but I made a big decision recently to decide. I decided to represent myself, which is big because I worked with an agent for a long time. Big step, and so I was like, I gotta be conscious. Am I going to be losing money? Like, this is going to get harder. And I decided to buy this because I feel like you have to pay yourself first, right? Like, I wanted it. It's a very nice. It's an expensive piece. It's Tom Brown. Don't judge me. But I was like, no, this is my statement that I'm going to be exactly the same, if not better off making this decision. And so I bought it with that in mind. So
That's
technically
cool.
I broke the rules, but it was
No
a
way.
Shira. What are you going to do?
you walked in and I was like, that's a cool jacket. Like it was very cool. Unfortunately, it was too hot for you to wear it throughout the entire pod, but totally cool.
I walked out with it, lick and fly.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, this is like the moment where I've decided that I don't care how this goes. I believe in me and I'm going to put money on it. So that's that.
I love that. That's so great. Look at you.
All right.
Okay, but back to your birthday. I don't think you should buy your present. I think your husband should buy it for you.
Okay. I'll transfer some money and be like, this is the one. I'll drop it in the cart and be like, hit submit. Now, Ryan would totally do it and he would get me something way bigger than I wanted. And I'd be like, no. Like,
yeah, you need to make sure you get the one you want, the little one. All right. Well, that's exciting. You're going to be 41.
40. Yes.
You're so young.
41. Okay. I was going to say 40. The whole month I've been thinking I'm going to be 42 because I always like jump ahead. So this is great. What a moment for me. I just got rolled back a year.
How old is Ryan?
42.
Okay. So Adam is 3.5 years older than me. So the minute he has his birthday, he just starts calling me the next year that I haven't hit yet. So he's been telling everyone I've been 46 since February because he only wants to be 3 years older than me. And I'm like, no. So for 6 months, I'm like, I'm not 46.
Pump the brakes, bro.
Yeah. And so 6 months from now, he'll be telling everyone I'm 47. It's just his thing.
You get like 2 big birthdays. Like, I turned 50 when Adam turned 50.
Yeah.
And then you get to turn 50 again.
That's true. That's true.
Great.
Yeah. It's funny. He's like, doesn't care about like anything, but he has this weird hang up with only being 3 years older than me. I'm like, dude, we've been married for almost 23 years. I think it worked out okay.
It's fine. Yeah.
It's totally okay. Okay. How's your running going?
It's going. I'm getting in shape, doing some mileage, like slowly starting workouts. But I will say, and I don't know if this is a birthday thing or not, but I feel fucking old. Like, I feel like I have like no mobility. And like, if someone were to come and like, just like elbow me, like nudge me, I would just fall over and every single bone would crack. Okay. So I feel like I need to go see a massage therapist and a PT to loosen some shit up because I think I'm just real rigid right now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a solution for that. That's not that complex.
Right. There's probably a solve, but
Do you stretch?
No.
Do you do like prehab exercises? So you just go out and run?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and then when I do like...
That might be part of your problem.
Yeah. Good chance. And then I try and like, if I try and roll, I found these like really good mobility drills. Sometimes I just make shit up. Like I saw this really great picture doing this hip mobility and I'm like, oh, like they have to have crazy range of motion. Like if I could do like a quarter of this, like that would help so much. So, like try to build it into my routine. But like adding shit you just get so sore. So I'll do like 2 days. No, like I'll do 2 days and I'll be like, oh, I'm worse. I've gotten significantly worse. I have to stop. So I got to stick with it.
You got to stick with it. You got to push through that period. So when your body actually adapts to it.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I understand all these things. I just don't want to do them because they take time. It's not like I'm doing anything else. It's just like, I'm like, it kind of hurts. I'm sore and I was fine before. I just don't elbow me while we're running because I'll fall over and break into pieces.
Also, you're in that stage when you're building into workouts and stuff. You kind of always feel like poop there.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons for it. But
yeah.
You know what? It's also fucking hot.
Yeah.
Like everything feels bad. Like there's no winds right now. Then you're like, oh, I can't wait for it to be winter when it's cold. And then winter comes and you're like, say thinking.
So it's so funny that you say it's hot. So it is hot. So Cole didn't run all summer, which was great. And then he wanted to start running. You know, he had talked about running 3 days a week starting sometime in July so that when cross country starts, he's not starting from nothing, which is what he's done the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. And we're talking like a 3-mile run or something. So we get up on Sunday and I'm like, are you going to start running or what? You know, he's like, yeah, I'll go. Well, it's like the hottest day it's been so far. It's like 85, 90% humidity. And we drive out past this road that's been being redone and park at these pickleball courts so we can go run on a better place to run. And anyway, he ends up running 4 miles, and he's dead, right? Like we're walking over to the truck and I have the key and he's like, I'm walking. I'm like,
I'm dying.
Yeah, I'm like, you're going to be all right. You know, like if you get your water in 10 seconds later, you're going to survive. So anyway, then I went off and ran another mile. When I came back, he said the people at the pickleball courts were like, is that your mom? How far did you run? It's very hot to be out here.
Oh no. Do you guys need to leave immediately?
And so, yeah, I was like, these people think I'm like abusing him, making him run on the hottest day of the year.
For sure. Child Protective Services on their way.
The reason we're running at the heat of the day is because he slept till 11, like, anyway.
Yeah. We had like a long stretch of really warm days and I was getting up early and running at like 9, which it was not bad. It was still pretty warm. And then the last couple days we've had like this really great break. Like, oh, this will be awesome. So that I just waited until 1 so that it would still be miserable. Because why would you make it easier on yourself? I'm like, oh, well, I can procrastinate a little bit because it's so nice out. And it's the same fucking thing.
How often do you do doubles?
Right now, not at all.
Okay.
I've just been running like once a day. I'm going to start soon. Very soon.
And then when you're like at full gear, like how many are you doing then?
Probably 3 to 4 a week. So I'll probably do 10 and 4, 12 and 4 most days. And then long run, couple sessions. And that's it.
Nice.
We'll see.
Nice.
We'll see.
Okay, do we want to talk friendship stuff or do we want to preview Olympics? I think we should.
Go ahead. What do you think?
I think we should preview Olympics so that we're stuck with the uncomfortable friendship stuff.
Well,
by the way,
go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, by the way, we didn't think this up.
No.
Chris did.
Yeah. Well, we should go back because I feel like Chris did send us this. There's a New York Times, like, she's going to spit it out. It was a New York Times, let's stretch, like, let's test your friendship, like, push your boundaries, and, like, he's going to chime on here and be like, I hate you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Text. Which was fun. It was like a 6-day thing, like test your friendship and stretch your friendship goals or something like that. And so like day 1 was like, talk to someone about your goals in your life. And I was like, oh, this is easy. Like, or no, it was what it was like, send a text to someone that you haven't talked to in a while and like re-engage a conversation. I was like, easy, send. And then the next day was like, plan a lifelong lunch date with somebody you've never talked to before. Like, go down to the farmer's market. Yeah, it like escalated so quickly. And he sent them the rest of the week. And what I did was exactly what I would normally do. But then I found ways to justify what I normally do as meeting the goal of the assignment that Chris sent. So like I bumped into my neighbor in the yard and we talked for like 3 minutes and I was like, well, that basically checks the box for this assignment because
that was like going to lunch.
Spend that much time with him. Like, oh my God, our neighbor. So I tried. Did you
I
try?
Didn't try.
Did you?
No. The very first day it was like text something. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, it was like text someone something. And I was like, all right. And then the next day it escalated so quickly. It was like, plan a getaway. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? I'm out.
Yeah, I'm not going on vacation with anybody because
like, what are we talking about here? This is so extreme. Yeah, no.
So that was where it started.
That's where it started. Yeah.
And then today, and that was, we were going to go through those questions. There was a list of questions at the end that were like, how to create better friends. And we were going to go through those. I think that got buried. And so today, as we're heading into this, Chris sent a new list of questions from the Modern Love section. It says the 36 questions that lead to love.
They're really deep, uncomfortably deep.
I said, if you fall in love with me during the show, I don't know what we're going to do.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, I mean, for sure.
Okay, well,
acceptable, like but it would change the work dynamic.
It would definitely change the work and my life dynamic greatly.
Change a lot of things.
I think we should do the Olympics first, so we have to dive into the questions.
This is a great teaser. Like, stay for the Olympics. Listen to the Olympics, but stay for the
love language.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Olympic preview. What are you most excited about?
Come on.
We're gonna be there. We're gonna be talking about it. We're gonna be kicking off episodes to everybody. But what are you most like pumped about?
I have like a list of 4 things, I think, and it'll probably get longer. Marathons, men's and women's.
Yep.
1,500 meters, men's and
Yes.
women's. And then I go like, oh, men's 8 will be really good.
It's okay that we have favorites.
Women's 8 will be really good.
Yeah.
400-meter hurdles, both sides are going to be fucking amazing.
Yeah, Femke Bol.
Yeah. What a response.
Big PR. Or first time, only the second woman ever under 51.
Yeah.
51.
Like, no.
But then again, Sydney's at like 0.65 and she was at 0.9 something. So it doesn't seem like that much of a difference, but visually when they're running,
I know.
You know.
But she was like kind of by herself, right?
Or was it? It was at 51 point. I want to make sure we get this right.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Trust me.
Maybe she was only the second. Maybe she was the second woman under 52. I just want to make sure. Femke. I love Femke Bol. I love Sydney too, and I love watching them race each other. Okay. Oh no, under 51. Yeah, you were right. You were right. Okay. Well,
lucky guess.
I agree with you. I'm super excited about the marathons because the course is absolutely nuts. Mm-hmm. David Monti sent me a course profile yesterday, and it is crazy. Yes. And so I'm excited about
13%
that.
13% or something?
Yeah. It's like hands on your quads running up this hill. You know what I mean? Right. It's crazy.
Trekking poles?
Yeah. And it comes later in the race, and I think it's just going to blow the field open. And I'm excited to see these athletes that we know more as time trialers. How do they adapt to be ready for this hilly course? And also there was some late breaking news. I don't think we've talked about it yet, have we? That Bridget Kosgei is out.
Oh, yeah.
And right. Sharon Lokedi is in for Team Kenya, which was already a controversial pick a little bit. So
I think that's the better pick. Personally.
Yeah, I think so too. I think she's shown her that she won New York. Was second in Boston. She knows how to handle the hilly courses. So I think she'll probably, I mean, you never know, but anyway, we both wanted her picked anyway. And then of course everyone wants to know what Kipchoge can do on the men's side. The one hilly marathon that he ran, Boston, didn't go as well for him. And what can he do? And then Bekele's in there too, which is interesting.
Crazy. I don't think it'll be either of them factoring. Personally.
Who do you think?
But it's fun to think about them being in there. Is Kipchoge 40?
Supposedly not.
On paper.
Wait, I can't lose my... let's find out how old he is. I think he's like 38. Yeah. Let's see. 39.
39.
He'll be 40 this year in November.
Okay.
And then how old is Kenisa Bekele? He's in his 40s.
41. 40, 41?
He is 42.
42.
Just turned 42.
I think he's great on a flat course. I don't think that this course is going to be for him.
Bekele?
Yeah.
I just think
he's from New York, right?
Cross-country history was so good. But also they're not in the same bodies they were in back then.
Fair.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when in Fukuoka, Japan in 2006, Adam and I were at World Cross Country and Adam got 6th. And Bekele was in front of him, but not by far, but that's besides the point. And thinking like we are witnessing the greatest men's distance runner at the height of his career. And that was 18 years ago.
Bananas.
So yeah.
Hold my Morton.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I agree with you. For me, the men's 1500 has just been building for 2 years, and I'm like 3 years really. I'm so excited about it.
What is going to happen?
I'm not as confident as I was once before.
Yeah, I mean, look into your crystal ball.
Jake Whiteman's out, which is a huge loss.
That's a bummer.
He'll be running the 800 instead. He's had some injury problems. That's a huge loss. Timothy Chariot suddenly running better again. Like, not suddenly. That sounded harsh. I know he's been injured and we know he's super talented, but he's looking better.
Any chance for Hocker on the podium?
Yes, but not if Ingebrigtsen runs 3:27. I mean, I don't know. Like, that's the thing is like I feel like it's going to be a bit like the women's US 1500 meter
Mhm.
Olympic trials final. Ingebrigtsen's going to lead it. He's going to try to run the sting out of everybody. And I think everyone is like going in with this mindset of, I can't look at the clock. I just have to stay. And then if you are on him with 200 to go, there are people. I mean, Cole Hocker has the switch like no one else, right? He just does.
Yeah.
So if he's in contention still, he absolutely could medal. He could win. But it's that hanging on when you're on the ropes,
Right. Who can
for
be there with
1,200
200 to
meters.
go when it's
Yeah.
that fast?
Yeah. What do you
I
think?
I I think you're absolutely right. I think what would be kind just fun and interesting because it's so predictable, right? Like Ingebrigtsen has to run the sting out of everyone's kick. He's got to go to the front from the beginning. He can't have any slow laps, yada yada. That's how it should play out. But like it one is that doable for him. It seems like it's his tactic, but the last two championships hasn't panned out. Two, he does it really well in the Diamond League where he has pacers. So
Mhm.
on his own, can he actually do it? And then I think about like what are other ways that you can take the sting out of the kickers, but not have to be that aggressive? And it's like first lap even, second lap, like go fucking bananas, regroup. And like, can you do it through surges and just like chaos?
I think so. You have to train that way, right? I mean, you
Right.
have to have trained yourself to be able to run
We just haven't
58,
seen that from him, right?
53, back
Right.
to 58 or whatever. But I think, one of the things that he is so good at is just riding that line for so long. That's why I think I can't wait till he runs a 10,000. I mean, what will he be able to do in the 10,000? Or when he really runs a paced hard effort 5,000 meters, right? But even though he has a kick, it's not that he doesn't have a kick, but he doesn't have this visual switch
Mm-hmm. He
that
has to
some of the other
wind
guys
up.
have. Yeah. Yeah. It's like a grind. He grinds it out. And he did that in Tokyo, right? He took it and it was this long grind. He took it from Chariot, but it's not a, just like you just said, it's wind up. It's not this automatic, and now we're going, which we see from some of the other guys. He is so confident right now, which that matters.
Mm-hmm.
But so are all these other guys. I mean, talk about like a race full of egos.
Oh
It's
man.
just like so many egos on one starting line, which is what
Right.
makes it so exciting because, to quote Let's Run, so many people are going to go home devastated. Is that still a thing on Let's Run? Yeah, that's their thing. So and so went home devastated.
Devastated.
Um, because the egos are so high, which honestly, at that level, if you want to win, you have to believe you are the best person there. Just have to believe it,
Yeah.
because otherwise there's a little inch of doubt that can creep in and it's over.
That's the second that you lose it, right?
Yeah. But I think I hope all the players make the final. I hope it's Kerr. I hope it's Ingebrigtsen. I hope it's Nagoose. I hope it's Hocker. I hope it's Chariot. And I hope that they're just to the well.
Do you think it really is anybody beyond Kerr and Ingebrigtsen?
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
think I don't see Chariot winning. He'd have to come up with something we haven't seen, right? Like we know that he can take it and grind it out, but at this point, I feel like his ability to grind it out isn't good enough to grind out Ingebrigtsen. So I don't know. I feel bad because I really like him, but I don't necessarily see him having a chance of winning. Actually, you know what? I don't have to feel bad. I'm just talking analytically here. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Um, and I feel a little bit that way about Nagoose. We
Mhm.
haven't seen this flip of the switch, this quick turnover. We see, I mean, it's not like he let Hocker win. He held him, but he wasn't, I don't know. I feel like I feel like it's gonna be, I don't know, Hocker or Kerr if someone beats him.
Yeah. Yeah, I could totally see that. I mean, I think the way Hocker raced at USA's was really promising. He has the ability to just go and like, look, no one was talking about Whiteman,
Right.
but he had that type of speed.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's the guy who's just patiently waiting and really quiet and matching moves, but it's not super flashy. you only need to be flashy on one day.
Right.
All right.
I did see an interview with Ingebrigtsen and they were saying, are you going to change your tactics? And he said, it's worked 98 times out of 100. Like the odds are actually good that it's going to work, you know? So I don't necessarily see him like waiting in the pack. I see him
Right.
taking it. Maybe waiting 200 and then taking it.
Yeah, I don't think it benefits him at all to hold back and like make it any amount of time he holds back makes it a kicker's race, like
Right.
that much closer to the kicker's race, right? If he does hold back, if he's like, I got to be really patient here, then he has to do something on the other side that still takes the sting out of the kickers. So then it's just like dramatic shifts.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's not practicing that, we're not seeing that. There's no, I mean, he's right in that 98 out of 100 times it's worked, but 2 out of the last 3 championships, it hasn't.
Well, he just ran 326, and I don't know if I believe any of the other guys can run that fast. But as you said, running 326 with a pacer and lights alongside you is very different than, all right, every man for himself, your mind set, go, no help, right? Yeah. It's just very different.
It can be, but also like he trains alone, right?
Yeah.
Trains with his brothers, right? If that's what you're used to, if that's what you're comfortable with, it's like that another day in the office. This is what I do.
You think he's going to set the world record in the Olympic final? I mean, he's so close right now.
I think it could happen. I think that
I will take my shirt off and run around the stadium if that happens.
Oh my God. Heard it here first. I
mean, I cannot see that happening. And so if it does, it would be so effing awesome that, yeah.
You probably shouldn't, but I feel like you get in those scenarios, like all of a sudden there's momentum, that track, you know, how fucking fast is it going to be? And there's just that extra push of like, this is the biggest stage and I want this more than anything I've ever wanted in my entire life. And that's like those microseconds that could be the difference.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously that's not, and that's the thing is that's not the goal for him. It's not like I'm looking at the clock trying to set this time.
Right. No.
And we go back to the women's 15 at the trials where when they stop looking, maybe magic happens.
Right. Well, and I think that will be the key for someone like Josh Kerr or Cole Hocker. Don't look at the clock. Just race. Because if you look at the clock and you're seeing what are their PRs? Has Cole Hocker run 329 and Josh Kerr run 329, I think?
Maybe.
And they're running 327 pace or something, they might freak out. Just don't look. Just run. But the women's race got a lot more interesting in the last couple of weeks. Don't you think?
Yeah, no kidding, huh? How about Jessica Hull?
I mean, this is what I think is Jessica Hull believes she can run with anyone right now. I think she ran behind Faith Kipyegon to run that 350, and now she's just thinking on a different level. So she's not going to let Faith, when Faith makes her move in the Olympic final, she's not going to let her go like she would have before. But you think St. Pierre doesn't think she's as good as Jessica Hull?
Right.
Or
what
Nikki
have you
Hiltz?
Ever done up to this point?
Yeah. And Nikki Hiltz is like, I can run with you. And so I just think it's going to make the rest of the field, it's going to look very different than it's looked the last 3 years. When Kipyegon makes her move, usually it's just instant, it's shattered, and now we're looking for the chase for silver. And I feel like that's not going to happen this year. Everyone's just going to go with her, and we'll see probably some epic blow-ups in the last 300. But that's the game you have to play. You have to just risk it now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unless you're just like, I would love a bronze medal. You know what I mean? Like what I really want is a bronze. Find okay, go now. Like you have, if you're just trying to chase a medal,
right?
Like being slightly conservative and picking up pieces is probably going to be an option.
Yeah,
but like,
might
what
work
fun
out.
Is that right?
Right. I know. Well, I think they're all just going to have to react because Jess Hull is going to go with Faith, and I just don't see St. Pierre, Hiltz, all these women, Muir, that have run with her for years go, oh, yep, she's she's just better than me now.
Right.
I think,
Sorry.
yeah, I think that they're going to say, well, if she can do it, I can do it. And so I just feel like the women's race was already exciting because we're watching history, right? If Faith wins, she'll be the first person to win 3 titles in the 1500. But I just think that it just got deeper and the rest of the medals just got a lot more interesting.
Well, and her room for error just trimmed down a
Dropped
ton,
dramatically.
right? So yeah, like we're still like, well, Faith is going to go and Faith is going to do it and Faith is going to, it's like, who knows? Like maybe Hull gets the jump and is like, no, you respond to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then that just gets in her head. Like
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
a totally different position.
she hasn't had to deal with anything like that
Yeah.
for a long time. I think the last time she won a world title or an Olympic title in 1500 was in 2019 when Safan Hassan won the 15 and the 10 at the World Championship. So it's been a long time since Faith wasn't controlling it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Different. Weird timing for that, if that were the case.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be
What
good.
else do we got? 5'10s? Do you want to talk about this? Or you just kind of...
Yeah, I mean, I'm still not even sure
Not
who
as
all is
exciting.
running what from other countries. Like Ethiopia has the guy listed in multiple events. Same with Safan Hassan. I just don't think that Safan Hassan is where she was at Tokyo. You know, at Tokyo we saw
What do
her
you
do the
think about
triple.
this? Yeah, this list of events. Is it realistic? Not real? Like
Of course she can do them.
right.
But
Participation
why are our
medals.
jaws dropping for this? Yeah, it's like it's one thing if she had a shot to win them all. She doesn't. I'm sorry. She is not the athlete she was 3 years ago. She's been focusing on the marathon where she's had extremely good success. And we saw her last year at the World Champs. Now she was leading the 10,000 coming off the curve last year and she fell. But in the 5,000, I think she was 4th or 5th. And again, I'm saying like she was only 4th or 5th. But I'm saying, you know,
yeah, before we're used to watching her run away.
Yeah,
and that
what made
monster
Tokyo
kick.
so crazy was that she won the 5, won the 10, and got silver in the 15. That's what made it so, or maybe even bronze. Maybe Laura Muir beat her. But she, medaled in these 3 events. And so now all this talk about, oh, she's going to do this crazy thing. Well, first of all, Safan Hassan does Safan Hassan things. She enters a lot of races. I think just based on her performances the last few years, her best chance at a medal is in the marathon. And to be ready for that marathon, it's going to take very specific training, right? I mean, would you agree? It's like flat for a while, and then you have this crazy climb, and then you have to be able to get back on your tempo after that. That's not just a normal, you have to prepare for that. You have to do hills on tired legs, like big 13% grade hills, like and then still run fast after. I just think it's not typical marathon training. And that isn't going to help your 15, 5, or 10.
Right. It depends where she's putting her focus. Like,
right.
If you're racing this marathon in Paris, sometimes you train for the marathon, like Chicago, Berlin, flat courses. You're training for 26.2. I want to cover the distance. If you're running New York, if you're running Boston, if you're running this Paris marathon, like you're training for the course.
Right.
And the distance. Like secondary is the distance. Like I'm getting ready for these specific moments and covering the distance. So that is, you're already marathon specific, but now it becomes course specific, which gets even farther away from 15.5 and then maybe flirts with the 10, but still like that's a flat, if you're doing 26.2 as a flat course, then that could probably translate to the 10. Okay. But it gets really far away when you have a course like this.
Yeah. I mean, Safan Hassan does crazy stuff. So she might do this quadruple, but I'm just like, why are we hyping it like it's groundbreaking? I mean, I know that it is. I know that people don't run 4 events at the Olympics, but I'm also just like, is she really going to be contending to the front? I mean, that would be groundbreaking for me.
Right. If she does 4 events at the Olympics very, very well and is finishing in the top 5, then it's like
then
afterwards,
it's groundbreaking.
By all means, let's hype it up. But it doesn't seem very likely that this is going to be high performance
on everything
across the board because it's just, you have to compromise something to do it all.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yeah, totally. So I guess we'll see. We shall see.
We shall.
We shall.
We shall.
Okay, I feel like we have to get into uncomfortable questions.
I'm thinking if there's any more events.
There's a lot more events. The 5,000, the 10,000.
Have you watched Sprint?
No.
The doc?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Have you?
I did. We watched it.
Did you like it?
It was good. It was entertaining. There's like some characters that were like Chris is talking shit in the chat. There's some characters, that you get to know better. I feel like they make you understand why it's so important to these athletes. I get that the diehard, this is just like the broadcast, right? Like the diehards are like, this is bullshit. It sucks. You're not getting into anything important. It's like, yeah, no, you're already watching. We don't need you to come back and watch. What we need is people who don't watch to give a shit. And this is what does it. So I thought it was well done.
I haven't not watched it because I'm not going to watch it. I haven't watched it because
you're watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I'm watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine with my family. And also anytime I dedicate towards running right now, it's just distance stuff. It's interviews and stuff. So I will watch it.
Yeah.
Otto Bolden, our analyst, I guess, is a main voice throughout there. I would want to watch it just to support him, whether I liked it or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does great.
Yeah. And so I fully intend on watching it. It's just that right now, anytime I watch anything track and field related, it is 1,500 and up. So
I'm trying to think if there are any Noah Lyles trading cards. I don't think any trading cards made it into the show.
Really?
Pretty sure.
Huh. Well, I guess the trading cards themselves are kind of new this year. Like before he would do like his,
like Fireball, like a Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. But he didn't actually bring the cards in. I feel like that is fresh this year.
Do you think that he listens to our pod? Because we talked about all those fucking cards flying everywhere, and then he came to the track and he had them in a proper holder.
No.
So obviously, I
don't. But I wish he did. I'd be super pumped to find out that Noah Lyles was listening to us. But I don't think he does listen to our pod.
I thought we offered great advice there. Don't get DQ'd. And if he puts some razzle dazzle on the uniforms, then for sure he's listening to the pod.
Listen, we both watch all of the sprints. So Fred, we talked about Fred. We've talked about Noah. Like, if you guys want to come on, we'll talk to you. We'll hype the sprints more.
We'll tell your story.
We'll tell your story to a very different audience than that normally absorbs your story. Yeah. Okay, Chris is getting mad at us and saying we're stalling.
Go. The 36 questions that lead to love. Kara, fire off your first question.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
They're so deep. There's not even like a dip your toe in one. Okay, here's a dip your toe in one. Okay? Yeah. When did you last sing to yourself or to someone else?
I knew you were going to pick that one. I was going to do it too. And I was looking at, I only looked at set 1 this morning because it was like, I started set 2 and I was like, no, absolutely not. But I sing to myself every day, all the time.
Out, like in the car or just anywhere?
Everywhere. Like everything's a little ditty for me. I sing to the dogs. I sing to Ryan, but not I'm a terrible singer too. So it's really probably not a good thing. Like come up and be singing some song I made up to Ryan. Like, how about you make me motherfucking dinner? This bitch is hungry. You know what I mean? Like, but you have to do it in a song. So it's less aggressive.
Right.
You get the thing across.
Charming. It's charming.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I will make you dinner. What would you like? So it works. And then I do that like when I'm feeding the dogs or if I'm, all right, this is inappropriate, kind of, but I do think the Trump assassination, terrible thing. But I woke up and I was like, I need to put some 50 Cent on. Many, many men. And I was singing that this morning. So, yeah, I sing all the time to myself. How about you?
I did not know that. I did not know that. Yeah. No, I'm not answering that question.
What? All right, let me pick another one.
Yeah, pick another one. I mean, I sing all the time, too. I sing in the car. Ask my son. He thinks I'm embarrassing.
I don't know.
I also do not have a good voice.
Okay, here's a good one. Would you like to be famous in what way?
I feel like
you are famous.
I'm like the right level of famous right now.
Famous in running circles.
Yeah, in running circles. Like I can't imagine if you were super famous and you can't go to the grocery store Or like Terry Crews, when he was with NBC, we went for a run in the morning. And his bodyguard was there and stuff.
Oh.
And he said, I haven't run outside in over a year because he can't, because he lives in LA. And that made me, so he runs on a treadmill every day. And I felt like I would die if I couldn't go running outside. Like I would literally die. And so I would never want to be so famous that I can't do all the things I love, which is like hang out at Lake Superior and go grocery shopping and go for a run. So I feel like I'm at the right level where for some reason, some people think I'm cool and I have enough authority to have a job.
That's always good.
But yeah. What about you? Do you want to answer that one?
I'll answer it.
Okay.
I don't have any desire to be famous. I've said this to you and Chris before. You know, it's better than being rich and famous, being rich.
Right.
But if I were to have any level of fame, I would love to be famous in India. Like, because there's just a massive audience there. Like, you could be a total rock star, but like, I would never need to go to India, right? Like, if I went once a year and was like a rock star and I was like, spent my 2 days being cool and then flew back home. Perfect.
Right. You're taken care of. All right. I mean, you already are famous, but you know.
All right. You're up.
Okay. This is kind of a dark one.
I know which one it's going to be. Go.
Is it number 7?
Yep.
Okay. Do you have a secret hunch about how you will die?
In an airplane crash. 100%. I have reoccurring dreams, or in a tsunami.
What?
I don't know. Could go either way.
That's terrifying.
I know. And then I'm like, how would I solve it? Like, if you heard the rumbling of the rocks in the earth, like, would I run that way? Or do you run with it and then try to swim? And like, you just have to imminent death.
Yeah, that sucks. I don't want to die like that.
What is yours in your
This isn't how I want to die, but I feel like I'm going to die from Parkinson's. No, from Alzheimer's, excuse me.
Because too. Terrible.
Yeah, because I think as long as I take care of myself, I think I'll live a really long time. I have all the genetic markers in my blood work. I have like the right cholesterol, all this stuff. My grandparents on both sides lived into their 90s. My heart rate's really low, which some people argue then you live longer because you don't have to, your heart doesn't beat as much, blah, 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 blah. But I've already had a brain MRI and I already have diseased tissue in my brain, which is linked to Alzheimer's. And so I'm like, I have literally started crying about this because my grandpa had dementia before he died. And I'm like, I do not want to be like that. And I know there's more research and like my husband's always sending it to me because he knows this is something I fear of like being like my grandpa was perfectly healthy, but like had such bad dementia. Like that to me is terrifying, right? Where you could live another 10 years, but not know
even comprehend.
Yeah. Or be able to like enjoy it with the people you love. So I can't even believe I'm saying this out loud to all these people apparently, but I fear that a lot. Yeah.
I feel like brain health is going to really be a priority. Not that it's not a priority, but I feel like it's really going to pick up steam and there's going to be things to either delay on set. I don't know.
I'm hopeful.
So. I'm hopeful.
I feel like I'm going to be that person that lives forever, but then like I don't even know my loved ones. And I don't want that for myself. In fact, if we're still friends, then you can put a pillow on my face because I actually don't want to live like that.
All right, don't lock me up, but we'll talk about it. Okay. Put it in a contract.
Okay, see, this is dark.
Yeah, let's find a nicer question.
Okay.
Okay. Ooh, I don't like that. It's too deep. These are getting heavy.
They're so deep.
No, I can't go to set 2 is too much.
I just went to set 3.
Take 4 minutes. No, we don't have that time.
How about this one? Okay. When did you last cry in front of another person?
I'm sure it's in front of Ryan. I mean, look, like, if I'm about to start my period, I'll cry over anything. Like, we're almost out of toilet paper. Like, how are we gonna solve this?
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know, the puppy could die. Like, it's gonna be so sad. I'm like, he's one, he's fine. There's no health problems. So probably in front of Ryan, and then the next day I'm like, I don't know what was wrong with me.
I am so
Sorry about
emotional
that.
right before I get my period too.
I hate that.
So emotional. Like everything feels so big. Like if I'm leaving on a trip, I'm like, how am I, like, why do I constantly leave my family? And like, I will be crying. It's wild.
I hate that because it makes you like, you feel less in control of yourself. You're like, I have no connect. I'm not in charge here.
Yeah.
Like these weird hormones pulsing through my body are actually in charge. I'm just a passenger.
Yeah.
That's scary.
And even when you know it's the hormones, it doesn't matter.
It still doesn't matter.
Because you still feel suicidal. Even though you know.
Get through today.
So this is something that's really personal, but people always ask me why I didn't go through fertility treatment again. So imagine the feelings you have when you're on your period and imagine multiplying that by 1,000.
No.
With the fertility drugs. It was, and of course it was worth it. I love my child and I admire people who can do it over and over again. But for me, I felt so fucking depressed. And I just felt like I can't do that again. We got what we wanted and I just can't. I can't do it. So that's why I only have one kid, because people ask me all the time, which also is weird. Don't ask people that. But anyway.
Okay. Yeah, that's insane. Like I would be like, no, we have to go to, I don't know, Bora Bora for this treatment to happen. Like I need to be in paradise for the entire process.
Yeah, it's rough. I really respect people that go through it, but for me, I could not do it again.
And I'd be in Bora Bora crying.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say? And why?
When I was younger, yes, because I would be like calling to order a pizza or something. But I don't call anybody now. Like the best thing that ever happened to me was like online ordering and text messaging. Like I remember crying. I was home from college and I wanted a pizza so bad. My mom's like, just order it. And I'm like, I can't, please call for me. So yes, I definitely have, but not anytime recently because I don't call anybody anymore. What about you?
Exactly the same. 100%. I'm like, it's fine. I don't need to go to the dentist. My teeth fall out and rot.
Oh, right? Like making a doctor's appointment, I'm like, what do you mean I can't do it online? I guess I'm just never going back.
It's the worst. Yeah, and then you do like, I would have like a script. Like, okay, hello. You know, and you just screw it all up. You're like, I didn't mean to say that. I just hang up and try in a year.
I hate calling. I'll try again in a year.
Like, this has gone terribly. Try next year.
I mean, when someone FaceTimes me, I'm like, whoa.
Oh, yeah, so intrusive. Like
what? You think I'm going to answer that? I am not going to answer that. And the few times I have, I'm like,
it's funny.
You don't know me very well. Oh, that's so funny.
That's a good one. Great question.
Okay, here's one. That was really good. If you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be? Any.
Like magical or?
Yeah, whatever you want. A quality or ability, whatever you want, anything.
There was a really great, like, there was a kid who answered this question. He was like, I would want to understand the probability of everything happening, like, immediately. Like, anything. So, like, you could go to Vegas and just, like, crush. Or, like, like, the probability if I went for a drive right now and there would be X amount of probability that I would hit a deer. So you could change, like, when you go. Yeah. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
And it'd be like, what a great party trick.
Yeah, for sure.
Crush at a party.
Still crying about the phone call. Oh. Okay, well,
what
that's
would yours
cool.
be? No, what would yours
I
be?
don't know.
That's like super nerdy one.
It's a super hard one. Like quality or ability. I mean, I guess I don't know. I always think of everything athletically. I'm like, I wish I was a little bit more athletic, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I could sing well. Who knows? I don't know. That's a tough one. I shouldn't have asked that one. I shouldn't have asked that one.
Should we do one more? Like one big one here?
I think we should do a couple.
Okay. When did you last cry in front of another person? It was literally right now answering that question. That the bar moved on that one. Okay, what, if anything, is too serious to be joked about?
I don't know that anything is off limits with me as long as I know you. Or I know that it's like, like I think like things come to mind like my grandpa or something. But if you knew me and you knew him and then we could joke about it, it'd be fine. I just don't want some random person making a joke about him. I mean, I have like a really, really fucked up sense of humor. Like when my sister and I were at CU, one time we were in the van and everyone was like, my dad's a lawyer and my dad does this and my dad's a graphic designer. And my sister goes, my dad's dead. And I started laughing so hard. And everyone in the van was like,
so, dark humor.
Yeah. I think, yeah. So I feel like most things can be funny, but it has to be told in the context of where there's like a greater understanding that this is clearly a joke, not just some guy spewing off hateful things. And then they're like, I'm joking.
Right.
Yeah.
Which those people are not actually joking.
No, they're not.
And
no.
then they say they're joking. You're like,
yeah. What about you? Is there something that can't be joked about?
I don't think so. I mean, I think, yeah, it's the same thing. Like it's also the thing, like if I know you and we're close enough, we can all joke about the same things, but that if someone were to come in and try to join that joke, you'd be like, yo, no, you're not in the club yet.
Yeah,
like, you need to pay your fucking dues. Like, we can all joke about each other, but you don't get to yet,
Yes.
So nothing's really off limits except for other people, outsiders.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched Anthony Jeselnik stand up?
Mm-mm.
He's like the darkest comedian. Like, anything you think that might be off limits, like that's where he goes. Like that's where he starts, right?
Okay.
Go watch Thoughts and Prayers on Netflix.
I'm writing it down.
The other one is, this one's not as good, but Fire in the Maternity Ward.
Okay. It sounds terrible. Yeah. But good.
You'll find out whether there's things off limits for you or not.
Yeah, that's actually good.
Right.
Okay, here's one that's kind of dark too. If you knew that in 1 year you would die suddenly, would you change anything about the way you're living and why?
I mean, yeah, I guess if I knew, I would do all kinds of things that I was afraid of dying from, right? Like, well, it's not going to happen now. Unless there's like a catch, like you could also die earlier if these things go wrong. But if it was guaranteed, then I would be like, cool, like I don't really want to bungee jump because there's just a lot of fear attached to that. But I feel like erasing fears would be kind of fun.
Would you keep running?
Probably not. Not as much. I would keep running, but not as much because it's just like time consuming.
Yeah. I'd quit all my jobs probably.
Yeah, 100%.
And like take my son out of school and do whatever the hell I want to do. I'd, of course, still meet and talk to you though.
You'd keep this job. You'd keep this job. How's it going? What's your latest adventure?
Exactly.
How are you feeling about imminent death?
I would not. My mom and I were actually talking about this 2 days ago. Or no, maybe it was last night. I don't remember. But would you want to know when you were going to die? And I personally would not want to know because then I'm like, kind of like this question. I'm like completely changing my life because I feel like I need to do something because I know I'm going to die. And also I think I would be, even if it was like, you're going to die in 5 years and 2 days, I would be worrying about it and stressing about it. I just want to die when I die.
Well,
would you want to know when you're going to die?
No. I mean, I think the guarantee in life is that we're going to die.
Yeah.
So, like, if you need to know exactly when so you can change how you live, like, let me remind you.
Right.
That
you
it
are
could
going
be tomorrow
to die.
and it could be, like, that's a guarantee. So just live like it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And, I think there's no reason to put things off because you're like, well,
Right.
I don't know, make time for it. Like, no, like the guarantee is still there. I wouldn't want to know the time because I feel like then it's, I don't know. You should always live like maybe like tomorrow's not promised because it's not.
Totally. I agree.
All right.
Okay. Do you think Chris is going to be happy with us?
No, probably not. No, but he's not going to have to do many edits though. No edits. I don't think we're good.
I think we're good.
Tricky.
I just want to read some of these out loud. Like, this is the stuff that's on here. Tell your partner what you like about them. Be very honest, saying things you might not say to someone you've just met. We're not going to do that. There was just a lot of some of these questions are great. Like, what are you most grateful? Good. Yeah.
Your house, containing everything you own, catches fire. After saving your loved ones and pets, of course, you have time to safely make a final dash and save one item. What would it be and why?
I'm going to say that a year and a half ago, we had a reverse 911 call to get ready to flee our house because of a fire. We could see it. Like, we were driving out to Minnesota the next day. And so we were out packing stuff up and we saw the flames. And maybe it's because we had clothes, like a bag of suitcases. Like, we had a suitcase full of clothing or whatever, but we got the animals, got it in the car, and just were like, now what? And Colt was like, well, don't you want your wedding album? So then he ran in and got the wedding album. And then he was like, well, don't you want your grandparents' uniforms? Because Adam and I both have our grandparents wore uniforms. Cool. And we got it. But the bottom line was that in that moment, like, it didn't matter. Like, no thing mattered. And I know people say that kind of stuff. I know. And I felt like and then we got another reverse 911 saying, like, you don't have to leave yet, but be ready. And I was like, we're ready. We have everything we need. And I guess I'm sharing this to say that I'm just like everybody else. For like a week, I thought material things do not matter. Nothing matters. And then another week went by and I was like, oh yeah, it's Christmas. I really want that. Thank you. I love that. And so it's like, and so it was like this brilliant lesson for our family. And by the way, obviously we didn't have to evacuate, of what really matters. And it really was just each other. But of course, then like life goes on. And you're like, I really want that backpacker. I do really, whatever. But in that moment, there's nothing that I was like, we need right now. Nothing. What about you?
That's a great answer. I've thought about that a lot because I'm like, we have shit all over here. Like, there's stuff. And like, I throw stuff out all the time because I hate stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be good. Get the dogs, get Ryan. Yeah. We're good.
And of course it would be sad, but everything can be replaced, right? And I mean, I know this is like
cloud, all your photos are on there.
Yeah, seriously, it's so different. Yeah, but even if you lost your, like, people say, I want my photos, which I totally understand. Don't get me wrong. I would want my photos too, because, pre-cloud people we are. But yeah, I don't know. It was just really interesting of like, Colt was like, what do you want me to get? What should I get? And our car was like empty.
We're good.
And I'm like, I think we're good. I think we're good. Yeah.
Yeah. I think if I had to pick an item, I'd be like, I should grab my laptop so that I can start like figuring shit out tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a good one. Or and my phone. So I could call people.
Yeah, right.
But or text people, let's be real. I don't call anybody. But yeah, I don't know.
Good answer. I like that.
All right, well, should we be done with that?
Let's be done with that forever.
All right. Well, what do we got
today?
Thanks,
New York Times. I hope you fell in love with us. through those answers. If not, you can call into our show and we'll stare at you in the eyes for 4 minutes. I heard that works too.
That is
That's what the article
so
says.
a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
All right. Well, we have something today. We have an Olipop top 5.
A thing I do love.
You have a lot of beverages going on over there. Des loves her beverages.
I do. I have that one. This one's empty. Got one of these.
Oh my gosh. All right. Olipop top 5. I didn't write anything down. Do you want to kick us off? Do you have
I've got one. I wrote one down. This is so exciting for me. I'm just going to tell you how much I am of a procrastinator. I have all these things I need to do, all these projects I should be working on. And I was like, I'm going to put Duolingo on my phone and I'm going to learn French. And as soon as I learn French, I will get back to the other things that I need to do. So that's on my top 5. I got a streak going. I upgraded to the super edition because I was like, I don't want any ads. I just want to get in here and learn French so I can get back to work on the other things. I'm at a score of 6, which means in real life, this means you can use simple phrases for everyday needs. Say hello, goodbye, introduce yourself, talk about your pets.
Nice.
I'm ready. I'm ready
Bonjour,
for
Des.
Bonjour, bitches. And I like to yell at my phone when I'm doing it. So when Ryan's not here, I really I'll practice the pronunciation and I do it at a crazy high volume. So it's probably really annoying. But I like it. Duolingo, check it out. Learn your French so when we're doing the pod in French, you can keep up.
Oui, oui. I took French in high school. I don't remember any of it.
Really? Oh, I bet you'd breeze through that and be like
no,
20 right away.
I don't remember anything. So, but really? I'm proud of you. You'll be my translator.
Je m'appelle Desiree.
Je m'appelle Florence. That was my name. Okay. This is a story this is a story about me.
It's not a name.
Je m'appelle Florence because my name was Florence after Florence Griffith Joyner.
Okay.
Now I have mixed feelings about Flojo, but back in the day I worshipped Flojo. So anyway, yeah.
Different time.
Different time. Okay, well that's awesome. Good for you.
Do we even say this is the Olipop top 5?
I think so. Olipop top 5.
That was one of 5. Woohoo.
I'm going to say just Minnesota. It's been great. Yeah. We're only here for one more week.
It went by fast.
Shockingly, 2 days ago, my husband and my son we have this old shack on the property. We call it the Kill Shack because it just looks scary. We dared the kids to go in there a couple winters ago, and it was like straight out of Christmas Vacation. A squirrel jumped on them, and they were like, now they just will not go in there.
Yeah.
So they were gonna tear that down and burn it while I was off with my mom. And instead I came home to Adam ripping out the deck because we have this giant deck, and he's like, I want to make it smaller so it's not blocking my view of the lake. So I'll send you some pictures later. Anyway, I don't know what I digress. It's the trip always goes by way too fast. We are headed back a little earlier than normal. We usually head back the first week in August, but it just goes by quick. I really love it here, and it's been really fun. And I really am grateful that Adam and Colt like it here as well. So
that's awesome. It's such a great summer getaway. And do you guys get up there in the winter ever?
Well, so Colt and I come for a week during his winter break every year. And Adam could never come because he was working, but he sold his business, so he'll be able to come with us. But so we come for that. We've been talking about maybe coming out for Thanksgiving break, but I try to come out 4 or 5 times a year, but often I'm by myself or just with Colt or whatever.
Nice. That's fun. Seasons are great. Fall is incredible when all the tourists go home up here.
Oh, I bet.
It's still sort of summery, but then you get the leaves.
Yes.
That's the best time of year.
The leaves are the best.
Yeah, it's great. Griac. I remember running Griac.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So for my next one, I'm going to plug our Olympic shows again because I'm super excited for them. I think we're going to just get hot takes, immediate reactions. It's going to be so fun. We're going to be in Paris, which will be great. There's going to be
Have you been to Paris?
I've passed through. Honestly, the first time I went, I think it was before the London Games, and we didn't want to travel into the UK immediately, like London. So we flew from Paris, stayed a day there, and then flew over. I think we flew. Yeah, but like my leg was all fucked up, and like I had to carry all my bags around, and I didn't know my leg was broken, and I was just like miserable the whole time.
Yeah.
So I'm excited
This
to
will
go
be
back
different.
and, really enjoy it in a better way. But I'm excited about the pod episodes because I think they're going to be really fun. And we're hoping that a ton of people listen and get interested into track and field. I never do this, but subscribe, give us 5 stars, give us a
seriously.
review, and tell your friends so that they can be into track and field and have a kind of a fun way to experience it and a companion to what they're watching on the screen.
That's good. Okay, well, this is kind of piggybacking off that, but just the Olympics. I'm excited that the Olympics are about to start, and they've changed over the years. It seems like every Olympics is bigger and grander than the last one, but I was obsessed with the Olympics as a kid. I did my homework too. I still have the tape.
You like have the soundtrack down so well. I'm always like, what the fuck is
yeah, all those songs I listened to while I would do my homework. I loved it. I loved it before I was a runner. I was obsessed with gymnastics and figure skating. So I'm just super excited to, at this point in my life, still really like it, and to be able to be a small part of it and to be able to go and watch it. I just love the Olympics.
That's great. That's a good one. That's tough to top. I'm going to go to the listeners of this podcast. Yeah. I mean, pretty easy. You guys have been with us for a number of shows now. If you're just brand new, just pretend like you've been there the whole time. We don't even know. We appreciate you guys. We've gotten support from Brooks, Olipop, now Super Coffee, special guest sponsor coming up for these Olympic shows. And I think they're feeling the love. So thanks for listening to us. Thanks for supporting our sponsors. And keep giving us like feedback too. Like drop a comment. What do you want to hear about? Like, did you love this show? Or are you like, no, dude, just talk track and field? Or, we're not going to listen to everything you say. We might even like laugh about you behind your back a little bit. Just kidding. That's one of those things that you can make fun of because you guys are in the club. But yeah, thank you for always listening to us and spreading the word and sharing the love about track and running, and so much more fun stuff coming up beyond the Olympics. So keep listening and staying tuned.
Woohoo! That was good. All right. Olympic preview, friendship, team pasta, and we're done. Thanks for listening, everybody.